recently, our TYT Investigates team had reported that the Democratic Party, specifically the DCCC, had essentially pressured Democratic candidates in primary elections to sign unity agreements. And now there is a specific candidate who apparently is in line with Bernie Sanders and his policy ideas, who really questioned and felt uncomfortable about these unity demands. Now, TYT Investigates spoke to two individuals who are familiar with this candidate and his feelings about it. They did not speak to the candidate himself, but I do want to give you the findings of their story. So Doug Applegate is the candidate that they reported on. He ran against Darrell Issa in 2016 and lost very narrowly by a 0.6% margin, and was one of the Democratic hopefuls to receive a DCCC memo of understanding asking them to agree to forswear attacks that might hurt their rivals in the general election and to attend a unity event with their rivals after their primaries. So that's who it is. Applegate said that he was in line with all the issues and the core values of Bernie Sanders' campaign. He has been endorsed in his 2018 campaign by the National Nurses United group, and also they were a major advocate for Bernie Sanders during his primary campaign. So you could understand why he might feel a little uncomfortable agreeing with this unity demand from establishment Democrats.
So there's three components that Michael Tracy reported on earlier, which I brought to you on the show. And now this is the update that we've got a Democratic candidate that looks like he's not going to sign. Before I get to those components, I just want to be clear about this. TYT Investigates does objective reporting, and they are not connected to the Just Democrats. I'm connected to the Just Democrats. All of our hosts get to have different opinions. My opinion is Just Democrats are awesome, but I did not participate in this at all. If I had, I think I could have just gotten Doug Applegate to talk to them. But anyway, they do this independently, so they apparently talk to two staffers, and I don't know who they are. But that's what's great reporting, and there might be more. What I understand is there might be more Democratic candidates who will not sign it. Okay, so now what are the three components? One is after the primary, everybody hug it out. I think that's the least offensive, but I still wouldn't sign that because I don't know. Did he do dirty tricks? Did he? The primary hasn't happened yet, right? If we ran a normal campaign, we have policy differences, that's fine. Like as I said on the show the other day, what if it was the 2000 primary between McCain and Bush is saying McCain has an illegitimate black daughter? I'm not gonna hug it out with that guy, right? So, okay, but that's the least problematic. Second one is the one Anna mentioned, which is promise not to attack your primary opponents. No, I don't promise that, because that helps the incumbents.
Yeah.
Because they already have a huge advantage. That also helps people who have super PACs, because the super PACs can attack anyone they like. But candidates without PACs, for example, the Justice Democrats who don't take corporate PAC money, don't have super PACs, well then they unilaterally disarm. Oh, what a funny coincidence. The DCCC has found a way to disarm progressives who are not corrupted by corporate PACs.
So I don't understand what the point of primaries are if you're not allowed to run against the incumbent. Like, what is the point of primaries?
Yes, it makes.
I mean, like they say all the time, politics is beanbag.
I'm pretty sure they don't say that.
They say the opposite.
They say the opposite.
Oh,
yes.
politics ain't beanbag, except they want to make it beanbag.
When it comes to progressives,
right?
Stand down, right? And like, let's take Applegate's race. Applegate had the closest race in the whole country, barely lost to Issa, and now Issa is losing by 10 points in that race. Okay, so Applegate is the clear front runner. He's actually raised a ton of money. That's usually the excuse they have. Oh, you didn't raise enough money. No, he used small donors to raise nearly $1 million. Applegate is the clear leader. If the Democrats actually cared about winning, they would support the guy who almost beat him last time, has a 10-point lead, has nearly $1 million. Clear, it's super obvious, but they're not. And so there's three other people in the race. One of them is a bundler for the Clinton 2016 campaign. Of course, don't attack him.
Be nice.
Don't attack him.
Be nice, don't bring that up.
Don't yet. Am I allowed to say that he was a Hillary Clinton bundler, or is that some sort of attack?
Michael Levin is his name.
You're being provoking.
Another one is Sarah Jacobs. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this if I sign the DCCC letter. She's the granddaughter of Qualcomm founder Irvin Jacobs. So she's financing her own campaign. She's got a lot of money. Democrats love rich people, the Democratic Party, right? They're like, oh, you've got money to finance your campaign? You're awesome. Hey, Doug Applegate, you better not criticize her, right? And then there's another real estate investor in the race. So it's like 3 enormously rich people against Applegate. And they want Applegate to sign a letter. And I haven't talked to him about this at all. So I don't, this is Michael's reporting. We'll get Applegate on the show hopefully one day. We'll ask him directly. But they asked Applegate to sign a letter saying don't attack them. Don't say where they're getting their money, who they support. Insanity. No, we don't. I wouldn't agree to that under any circumstances. And I haven't even gotten to what I think is the worst part. The worst part is the candidates must allocate 75% of their funds to quote unquote paid communications. It's largely TV. It doesn't have to be just TV, but you have to spend it in advertising. Why? Why can't I spend all of my money on humans? I want to go knock on every door in the district. I'm going to use 75% of my money on volunteers. No, you're not allowed to do that. Why? Why do you care? You care because actually these DNC, DCCC are run not by the politicians, by the consultants. And they're all going to get 25%, 15 to 25% on all those ads. You must funnel hundreds of millions of dollars from us, otherwise we're going to cut you off. And as Michael reports in TYT Investigates in this follow-up story, there could be consequences if they don't sign. Not only could they lose funding from the DCCC, support at the national level, maybe lose access to voter rolls, but then all the allied groups, all the veal pen groups in Washington, D.C., the big so-called progressive groups that have the same exact donors on their boards, then they cut you off. They go, nope, that's it. Okay, these people are illegitimate.
It's almost as if they learned absolutely nothing from the general election. Instead of taking ownership of the flaws that occurred during the 2016 election, they're just finding ways to squash any and all objections or opponents, and it will not bode well. Even if they're able to do away with these opponents and hide their message and basically squash them, people are aware of what's going on, and this is a really, really bad idea strategically.
So, by the way, if you want to support Doug, that's your call. I'm supporting him. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to be a great, great congressman. It's going to be wonderful to get rid of one of the most loathsome guys in Congress, and Darrell Issa, with a real strong progressive. He's a colonel. He's a Marine. JusticeDemocrats.com/Doug. And ApplegateForCongress.com. We'll have those links in the description box below in the comment section on Facebook. But Anna, to your point, we have different priorities. We want progressives to win. The consultant class that runs the Democratic Party doesn't care if they win. They just want the money. So if it turns out Issa wins because they screwed up this race, it doesn't matter as long as the 75% of the money goes to them. It doesn't. Next time they'll get 75% of the money to lose again. Who cares? As long as they get the money, right? Whereas if progressives win and they do not agree to funnel 75% of the money to them, that's a giant loss. Who cares who won the race? Progressive policies, they couldn't care less. They don't care at all. So we keep thinking that they're bungling things.
No.
Like, oh my God, they don't know how to win. No, winning for them is completely different than winning for us.
Nancy Pelosi said about a year ago that the people don't want change. She said that on CBS. She said people don't want change. She was the one who picked the chairman of the DCCC, Ben Ray Lujan. Is that how you say his name? Doesn't matter how you say his name. He was handpicked by Nancy Pelosi. And what is his job? His job is to silence progressives. And that's what this is. This is about keep the money train going, as Cenk says, and tell progressives to shut up. And they don't have a plan, actually. This isn't the DCCC's plan to get voters. This is the DCCC's plan to protect corporatists. That's all this is.
And when they asked Nancy Pelosi, why should you stay in charge for the House Democrats? She said, I'm a master legislator.
Yes.
Okay,
really?
She literally said that.
Yes.
And then they said, okay, why? And she said, because I raise the most amount of money.
How is that legislating?
That's not legislating at all. There's no almost no legislative wins ever. But she raised the most amount of money and then funnels a lot of it to her consultant friends who get really, really rich. Off the money, by the way, sometimes from rich donors, but sometimes from small donors. That money also gets funneled to those consultants. That's why when we say no more corporate PACs, they lose their minds. They view us as the enemy way more than they view the Republicans as the enemy. If you want to get the whole Young Turks show every single day, become a member, tytnetwork.com/join. And once you do, you'll be saying,
you know, I'm like a smart person.
Or you might say,
I think it's weird.
Or you might say,
oops.
No, that won't be that one. It won't be that one. It'll be great, trust me. tytnetwork.com/join.